here it is, boys. By the numbers, we do this week in and week out. And look, I like doing this because I'm able to see the progression and degression that Florida has throughout the year. They took a lot of steps back last week in these categories. Defensively, I think it was pretty close. Offensively, took a step back. Passing offense took a step back. Rush defense took a step forward. And then I want to say pass defense took a kind of was pretty neutral. So defense ranked 81 for Florida. Texas, number one defense right now. Number one defense.
And you got a third string quarterback from Yale playing against the number one defense.
Listen here, guys. I'm not making excuses, but we played Miami. I think they had the top rated. They've got a top 10 defense. We played A&M. They've got a top 10 defense. We played Tennessee. They had a top 10 defense. UCF did not. Georgia did. I mean, by golly. Unbelievable the slate that these boys have been going through. Offense, Texas ranked 16th. Florida ranked 69th. And look, I think you have to take that with a grain of salt because with DJ Lagway out, that offense is going to be questionable. We don't know. We don't know what Aiden Ward, what exactly he can bring. We don't know how much he's going to unlock or, close to that offense. I think we have an idea. I don't want to be pessimistic on it, but I don't feel very sexy about it either. Rushing offense, Texas is 65th. They're down to their third string running back, so that isn't too surprising. They're down to the Jadon Blue and Jarrett Gibson, two very viable running backs, but they had C.J. Baxter and I can't think of their second string, but they had a slew of studs that went down in the spring game, which was unfortunate. Yep. So the fact that they're doing what they're doing, I mean, obviously the rest of the team is really good, but those guys have stepped up in the running back room for them. Passing offense, they rank 13th with old Quinn and Archit back there slinging the rock. I think their numbers are a bit skewed, to be perfectly honest with you, up until Georgia. I mean, their schedule was pretty bleak. Michigan, Oklahoma were the two true tests. So I'm not as intimidated with Texas as I was with Georgia, to be perfectly transparent. The lack of DJ Lagway scares me. But I wasn't going into this game. I was honestly feeling quite confident, just given how they looked a little flustered with that Georgia team, just a few weeks ago. Rush or pass defense, they ranked first, which scares the living shit out of me with Warner. But again, thinking about the teams they played, Michigan run the ball. Oklahoma was in shambles with their quarterback situation. Carson Beck, we saw what he did last week. He'll make any defense look like a Heisman candidate. So it's probably a little bit skewed because they've literally faced some of the three worst offensive production teams leading up into this game. And then they had kind of a couple cupcakes. So how much do you put into it? It's tough. Even this far into the season, and you're kind of scratching your head with some of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're going to be getting some tests because the meat of their schedule is coming up. They'll have Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, Texas A&M. Texas A&M should be a good game between them and Texas. I mean, like, now, if you were to ask me, if we still had DJ Lagway, what we did to Georgia, like before he got hurt, who knows how that game would have went anyway. I'm not going to say we would have won or lost, but I think our chances would have been greater to win if he stayed in the game. But we still wound up taking the L, so it's just an L. They played Georgia 30 points, 15, but like if you were to ask me before any of this started, and we played Georgia like we did, say we still took the L, even with Lagway, I would feel way more confident playing Texas right now. I mean, you look at Vanderbilt, they only beat them by 3 points. Now, Vanderbilt is a much more improved Vanderbilt this year. We can all argue that. They beat Alabama. They took Texas to the ropes. And Pavia is a really good quarterback. Still, it is embarrassing to say you lost to Vanderbilt still, but they are an improved team. But yeah, I mean, like, if we had Lagway, I would sit here and tell you that, like, man, we may have a chance to win this game. Unfortunately, you don't have Lagway. You're up against the number one passing defense. You have a third-string quarterback from Yale passing the football. Who knows what they do? Like, maybe if he's not the answer, maybe they throw a wrench in there. Maybe they put somebody in there we don't think would be in there and they've been taking snaps, but I highly doubt it because if they have, you would have heard that about it in practice. So, I mean, this is it. Like, I hope they're ready. I hope Aiden Warner's ready because he's going to have one hell of a test on Saturday.
Look, I'm going to do a little sunshine pumping here. A little bit of Disney Gator. Be a little optimistic about this. Boys, listen here. I don't know, got me a slick pair this past weekend, boys. I went up in there. I was a little boozy. Probably not the best thing when you want to go buy an expensive pair of boots, but they got me right where they wanted me. You know what I'm saying? The in-store experience is incredible. I'm trying to talk to them now to where we can use our code in-store because the experience is so worth it that you have to go in. You need to go in, get the free booze they hand you, Literally, it smells incredible in there. Try these boots on. I got a pair of ostrich boots. I am beyond ecstatic to wear these bad boys and take care of them. You also can brand them with like 904. They could put like a little gator. I got a bucking bull on mine on the back of it. Like, you can do whatever you want with it. They replace the sole if something happens to the sole for like 150 bucks. That is phenomenal handcrafted boots. You need yourself a good pair of boots, boys. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have it, you've been thinking about it, this is your time to go get it. Go check out, again, to get the discount, go to tecovas.com/Hightop. You get 10% when you sign up for emails and texts. That's how you get the discount. I'm trying to get the code so you can use it in stores. Just, I'm like, Tecovas, you're killing me. I'm sending people your way. Tell them to put your toes west. Let's make it work. Go check it out, though. Get yourself a nice pair of boots for Christmas. Look good at the Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, whatever it may be. Slap on a pair of sexy old boots and look good for the old lady. And if your old lady wants some, there's some chicks in there trying on some boots too. She was actually in my photo that I posted on Twitter. People were trying to get at her. I'm like, guys, I'm just trying on a pair of boots. It's not to tell lies or anything, but I think Aiden Warner, let's give him some credit. Comes into a hostile game, doesn't make any mistakes until the end there where he threw that pick. But up until that point, played a very viable game. He kept it in between the lines, drove down the field at one point, had a fourth and fourth play where he executed to give us an opportunity to kick a field goal that we did not execute. Right? Or we did. Right before the half we did. To go up 13-6 before the half. So he was doing some things right. With a week under his belt, I think they go back to more of a Mertz style check down, keep it simple. The run is going to have to be effective. So I think they're going to be able to kind of play their game and do what they were doing against Georgia, right? Look very good on defense. The offense is going to have to get into a rhythm. What concerns me is just, look, we haven't really got the ball moving, and if it's a close one, like it was with Georgia at the end there, I don't see Warner stepping up and being that guy. And it's not even a shot. It's just the guy's a freshman. Walk on. You know what I mean? Like, look, we've been surprised by other things, but I don't think he's going to come out there and be a complete dud. I could be wrong. I will say that the quarterback development, I think, would be probably one of Billy's strong suit and O'Hara. They've done a great job, I think, of having these guys prepared week in and week out for the most part. And I think they'll have Warner prepared as much as possible. But I know Texas is going to throw the kitchen sink at it, and hopefully they're preparing him to say, hey, let's create some outlets for you to be able to get this thing out fast. Someone like Eugene Wilson would be huge in this, but Aiden Mizell had some big-time plays last week. Maybe we get him involved more. So there's positives from that standpoint. We'll see how it plays out, but I don't want to be complete doom and gloom headed into this part of it. I do want to say, look, let's talk about recruiting just for a short bit. There's a little bit of smoke, I guess, a possible flip. I was checking. There's a tweet. If you look on 3, there's a small percentage for Mr. Tremel Jones, quarterback from FSU, 4-star quarterback. He's a Mustang up here in Jacksonville, Mandarin, from Mandarin High. That's been a conversation. I know Tremel Jones was always kind of on Florida's list. He's always been part of that conversation. There was early conversations he could flip, and then he shut down his recruitment. Back when FSU kind of made everybody shut down their recruitment, including Solomon Thomas, who Florida was heavily, actively involved with as a 5-star lineman. I would love for the Tremel Jones plus the Thomas. I would love a little combo duo package if that's possible. And look, I don't want to be depressing here, but Tremel Jones would be great. But again, there's still, like we've all said, a long way to go. But there is some promise. That's a good sign, I guess. Maybe there's a turn. There's a more support coming because it's been quiet on the recruiting front. Day. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I like it when I can go to 24/7 Sports and not have to hit load more after I pass the ranked 50th in recruiting. But hey, look, it's November and we might finally have a quarterback in our class, Shelton. I mean, that's something to talk about. So, I mean, look, over the summer there were rumors that Tremel Jones could flip to Florida. Never came to, whatever. And look, if you flip him, cool. Nobody's going to be excited about it, but at least it gives us something, right? So, look, you look at a kid that's from that school. He has decent statistics. I'm not going to say it's eye-popping. It's not Lagway, obviously, but he is a top 250 quarterback, and he's earned that for a reason. And he started out as a 3-star. He's earned his 4-star, got a top 250. Got to give him, some credit for that. But, I mean, right now, Florida is at a spot to where if they can get anybody, they're going to take them. So, if they happen to pull off this flip, if you want to look at it in a more positive way, it's like, hey, look, we finally got a quarterback in the class, and we just took one from FSU who's struggling right now with their class, who are 1-8 right now, and they're probably going to get destroyed by Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's gonna be another tough one for them. I think they're one of the worst teams in college football, which is fun to see that go down with that. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Tramel Jones. And again, just all in all, he has 2 5-star wide receivers, I believe. Jamie French, who committed to Texas, is one of them, and I want to say there's one more. So there's some dogs out there at in Mandarin, Jacksonville. So we've got some talent from there, from up in that Jacksonville Trayons, from not Mandarin, but he's from that area. Charisse from Bartram, Pyburn's from Bowles. So there's some talent that comes out of this Jacksonville up by myself here in this area. So we'll see how that plays out. But again, that's kind of there's a couple of 3-star offensive linemen. Again, nothing's too sexy at this moment. But